I owned a Piper four-seater aircraft, and a friend of mine asked me to fly him up to Whalefish Bay in southwest Africa, up on the Skeleton Coast. The day before we flew, my wife had a dream about snakes trying to bite me. So I was alerted because I knew that the Lord was showing us to be careful, that the devil was out to get us. We flew out, and on the first day of the flight I lost my compass on the aircraft, which was no big deal because we were flying visual flight rules. You follow the maps and the roads. So we arrived in Whalefish Bay, but we had very little gas left in the fuel tanks. And we arranged for fuel for the next morning in a place called Swakopmund, which is about 20 miles away. And we flew out the next morning to go and fill up with gas in Swakopmund. But it's only 25 miles. But as we came into Swakopmund, we crossed over the Swakop River, which is a dry riverbed. It's desert country. But the very next thing, we were in very, very thick fog that had blown in from the sea. And we were out over the ocean without a compass. And anybody who's been a private pilot knows that you get disorientated extremely quickly in fog. You don't know which way you're going. I immediately lowered. I flew lower. I descended until I was just above the sea. But now, we were above the sea with no gas left. We had about 15 minutes endurance left when we left Whalefish Bay. And now I'm out over the sea and we're disorientated. I'm just above the water. And I was thinking of swimming, but you don't know which direction, because any moment the fuel would be finished in the tanks. So my friend, who was an ex-pilot, suggested we climb out and try and get over the fog, which is really foolish. But as I lifted the nose of the aircraft to climb up, started spluttering. The left fuel tank was empty. So I switched over to the right-hand tank, and I knew that there were only fumes in that tank. But now we're over the sea and we don't know which direction to fly. And I prayed, I said, Lord, which way? And I turned on a heading. And my friend said, no, it can't be. But now we're flying and it feels like an eternity, because you know any moment this aircraft's going to go down without fuel. But the next thing, we saw some flamingos flying. So my friend said that they always fly towards land. We've got to be heading the right direction, which we were. In a matter of seconds, we saw in the fog, we saw the town of Swakopmund, which is very small. We could see the land line appearing, and we knew we were coming out to land. But the very next thing, there was this big microwave tower right in front of us, a big dish in front of me, looming up in front of me, and I was zooming into this. I was sure to strike it. My friend, who was an ex-pilot, had done some fancy flying, and he pulled the stick, and we just lifted over this thing, and then I took over the stick again. And we were basically 2 miles from the landing strip. But there was no time to really look for a runway. I just put the nose of this aircraft down, and as we landed, the aircraft spluttered. The fuel was finished, and we basically just reached the edge of the runway. My friends, the devil tried to kill me that day, and God protected me. God saved us. We had a warning, but Jesus helped us. I had many pilot friends, much better pilots than me, who got killed. But God protected me on many occasions, and that was one of them. It was amazing that we lost the compass. Then we got into the fog. And then we were out of direction. And when we found direction after I prayed, we were heading straight for this microwave tower, which we would have hit. And we were saved from it. My friends, if you follow Jesus, then the devil's going to be on your case and he'll try and kill you. But if we call on the name of Jesus, he delivers us. I'm living testimony of that. May Jesus bless you.